Hi, and welcome to the farm. It is a brisk one here in the upstate of South Carolina this morning. Today we're back on the RXV here. We're going to be finishing her up today, I believe. We got the top, the struts have been painted. They're behind you there. I painted them yesterday on my lunch break. I didn't have time to record it, didn't have time to set everything up and get it painted. Problem with, working on a hobby farm. You got to squeeze some things in where you can. We're going to be putting the top back on her today and putting the driving lights on. And so that ought to be fun. Plus, I've got some fender flares I've had for about 6 months for her. Maybe we'll put them on today. Maybe we won't. Maybe we won't get to it. But we'll never get done if I keep running my mouth. So finish off that espresso. Let's get to work. The top struts and both seat backs share the same mounting bolt. So step one is to remove the rear seat back so we can access those bolts. I'll need 4 hands. 4 hands and a wizard. Okay, so this is sort of a jigsaw puzzle. Just put it together a piece at a time. So the first one goes in like this. Through there. I have to hold that one. Put the spacer on. The spacer has to go between this seat post and the bracket for the back seat. So that goes on like that. It can't go on too far because I got to be able to slip this through. There we go. All right. And the nut goes on like that. A little mechanical agitation. Okay. Put my spacer on. Seat bolt back in. Yeah. Don't want to go too tight on these bolts that go into the seat back because it's one of those metal anchors that's inside of a piece of plywood. It's probably 3/8" plywood at best, and that stuff is the cheapest thing possible. You'll just pull those suckers right through and break it out. So just snug it up, make sure it doesn't vibrate loose. And I may come back later, put a little bit of thread lock on that, just to make sure it doesn't vibrate out. If you're on the golf course, probably fine. But I'm not on a golf course. I'm on a farm. So, better safe than sorry. All right, stay. There we go. So these back bolts, I'm just putting them just through the holes here. Not even going to put nuts on them because up front, the bolts have a spacer on them. It kind of puts this whole thing into a bind. The whole idea is that it's pushing back here and squeezing in here, so this whole thing is in a bind with a preload to it. Makes it more stable. And yeah, that's fun to put together. I've already done it once and it's not fun. We got a nice shadow of my tripod now, but I want to show you this kit that kind of goes together to create this preload. A weird combination of a bolt with a washer, a nylon washer, and another washer. That's shady to me. An aluminum spacer. Then we have the actual bracket of the windshield frame. 2 more washers, and a nylon locking nut. And so that creates the spacing, I guess, that they wanted to generate this preload within the top. I forgot to push record just a minute ago, and I have this bolt partially in. Those 2 are in finger tight, and I got to tighten this up. I got to pull these 2 back together a little bit. You can see that preload is a bear in this thing. All right, so what you're looking at is the top of the cart on the front edge. I've gone back and forth several times about how I wanted to mount these things. I thought at one point I wanted to go underneath them here. And at one time I thought I'd go, well, I'll go all the way back to the actual windshield hoop. Back here, they're going to glare off of the windshield whenever the windshield is up. So I'm back to where I originally had them with just some double-sided tape early, and that was up here. And I think that's what I'm going to do. That seems to be the best solution. Now then, so I'll tell you what I did here. These wires up here are a little too big for this crimper here. These are just the right size. So what I wound up doing is coming back up here and tighten them down, twist them down as hard as I could to get them to go in the actual crimp part of the crimper. Because if it's up in here and the insulation doesn't do any good, you got to get down here into the metal so it can crimp and make that electrical and physical connection. Down here, these are pre-stripped. Well, they're cut, and you just pull the end of the insulation off and go into your connector. And yeah, I still do not have my heat shrink, my heat gun. Now then, for the moment of truth, does it all work? Aha, success. Spider. Excellent. Must be some kind of safety thing. It doesn't like being turned on with other things already drawing power. Since these are pretty much the cheapest LED lights I could find on Amazon, they didn't come with any kind of template, so I'm just going to set them up here, put a little mark, center of the hole, transpose that back into the center of the channel. Check it. Yeah, okay, good. A little impact right there. Tapper not self-tapping. All right. That's going to do it for today. If you've missed any of the other videos on this golf cart, I'll link them over here. As always, thanks for joining me on the farm.